education is not a luxury. It's a responsibility that society owes to itself. When you were in school as a child, I'm sure it seemed like more of a chore than a privilege. But as we get older and the pitter-patter of our own children's little feet is not too far off, the choice of their school becomes extremely important, even overwhelming. Basically, it comes down to deciding whether to enroll your child in public school or private school. According to the National Center of Educational Statistics, 5,488,000 students are enrolled in private school, and that's still only 10% of all students. I'm a single parent. I have a 6-year-old daughter named Lisa who just started first grade this year, and she currently is enrolled in public school. I'm trying to move her over to private school the first chance I get. I attended both public and private school. First I went to private school till 8th grade, and then I went to public high school. And when I moved into public high school, I was easily 2 years ahead, so I know firsthand the educational advancements in private school. Private schools are the better choice for your children's education and should be the parents' first choice. I intend to persuade you to enroll your children in private school because they offer better education and better prepare them for college on superior academics, what they do with the tuition money, and the safety benefits as well. Many parents enroll their children in public schools not because they think it's superior, but because they have no other choice. Private schools can be costly depending on the type. According to the 2010 Digest of Education Statistics, Catholic schools range from about $5,000 for elementary to $9,000 for schools that go through K through 12. Other religious schools range from about $6,500 for elementary to $10,000 for secondary and $7,000 for schools that go K through 12. And non-sectarian schools are even more expensive. They range from about $16,000 for elementary and K through 12 and an astounding $27,000 for secondary. So Catholic schools are clearly the cheaper choice, but the religious aspect can often be a deterrent for parents. You would think that because of the higher tuition, they would be forced to pay teachers more. But in fact, the money is allocated to have more teachers instead of necessarily paying them more. And it also goes to better books and a rich extracurricular schedule. Reported in the 2007-2008 School and Staffing Survey, the average annual base salary of a full-time public teacher was $49,600. Whereas a public school or a private school teacher was $13,000 less. It was $36,600. So are they getting paid more in public schools for higher requirements? No. Granted, public schools do require certification. Private schools have the leeway to employ someone with looking at more skills than just that certification. And in fact, private schools have a high percentage of teachers, 70 to 80%, that have master's degrees, not just BAs like in public schools. It is with this tuition money, however, that allows them to provide a better education. Private schools have proven to have been superior in academics on many different fronts. The National Center of Education administers a national assessment progress every few years, which is a test that checks for grades 4, 8, and 12, seeing how their progress is. And their 2009 results, which are right here, for grade 8 was 91% of private and 70% of public averaged basic, 38% of private and 21% averaged proficient, and only 3% of private and 1% of public averaged advanced. But considering how much smaller private schools are, that's a significant percentage difference. And besides that, the civic report card shows that besides the civic report card, students also score higher on their SATs. The SATs have risen 4 points for public school, 18 points for religious schools, and 13 points for independent schools. And data from the National Education Longitudinal Study, which is basically a government study that took a nationally representative sample of 8th graders, and it watched them progress all the way through high school and through college, which is why even though it was done in '88, it's significant now. And it said that 60 to 67% of public high school students entered college, whereas 90 to 95% of private school students entered college. Classroom and class size is another factor affecting not just academics, but also the safety of the schools. Private schools are smaller, promoting not only more scaffolding leading to better individualized activities, but allowing for a safer environment for your children. Reported in the 2007-2008 Schools and Staffing Survey, public elementary schools had an average of 20.3 students in each class, and private schools had an average of 18.1. And also in private schools, they usually had more than one adult in there. Another size issue is the total students in the school. For instance, the average private school has a student body of 300 to 400, whereas a public school has an average student body of 1,000. The greater student body in public schools seems to be promoting greater violence as well. As shown in all the indicators of school crimes and safety, Bureau of Justice statistics, during the 2007-2008 school year, 85% of public schools reported one or more incidents of crime had taken place at their school, amounting to 2 million crimes. 2 million, that's a lot. And that's 43 crimes per 1,000 public school students. 25% of public schools reported bullying on a weekly, even daily basis. And 34% of teachers agreed that the student misbehavior interfered with their teaching. Due to the violence, public schools have gone to lengths as adding metal detectors and no tolerance laws, but it's not bringing down the violence rate. Private schools are still safer. With private schools' smaller student body, they can provide more protection with less manpower, and access to campuses is carefully monitored and controlled. I have given you only a brief explanation of the benefits of private school over public school. First, I told you the cost of private schools and what that tuition money allowed them to do. Second, I described the academic advantages of private schools shown by higher graduation rates, higher SAT scores, and a higher NAEP civic report card. Finally, I explained the safety and educational benefits of smaller class sizes and a smaller student body in general. I believe that these facts should convince you that private schools are a better choice for your child's education. I know that it is not possible for all of us to put our children in public school, even though I'm a firm believer that the education received in private schools is far superior than that of public schools. I'm not yet able to enroll my own daughter in private school due to the financial aspects. It is, however, a goal of mine to have her attend private school, and at my first opportunity, I strongly believe it is the best choice and that every parent should choose private over public if possible.